How can you tell if you are with a toxic partner who is likely going to break your heart? As the attachment specialist, I get asked very often by coaching clients how to tell if a relationship is too far gone to be saved, or how to tell when a partner is truly ruining the relationship and it's beyond hope. Some people come in and just say, Adam, I just need you to tell me yes or no. Is this relationship fixable? And if not, why? Please just tell me so I can let go with peace of mind. And I give them my honest opinion based on my 10 plus years of experience in the field doing this. I always say that every situation can be fixed, but only if both parties are willing to make changes. But there are 7 key signs that I do look for that tell me it's going to be just about impossible to make a romance work. Now, these signs are not only drawn from my clinical experience as a licensed marriage and family therapist, but also from my 15 years of training and experience in the field of psychology, helping people resolve their relationship issues. I have a 98.5% satisfaction rate for people who complete my coaching programs, and I've helped over 1,500 people just as a coach alone, not including my years of in-home treatment for people severely disabled due to mental illness, relationships on the edge, working in clinics for at-risk families, and all my work as a couples therapist. So if you are here right now watching this video, wondering if your situation is worth fixing, let's go through the 7 signs I look for professionally and what they say about your relationship. The first thing I check for is extreme jealousy and possessiveness. Secure partners who are securely attached celebrate each other's independence. A partner who is constantly monitoring your whereabouts, who gets jealous of healthy friendships, or who tries to control your social life might have an anxious attachment style or could be manipulatively avoidant and distrusting of people. This behavior usually stems from a deep-seated fear of abandonment or getting hurt and a need for constant reassurance that they're maintaining control over the situation. What I've seen is people monitoring your phone calls, monitoring your text messages, going through your phone, going through your messages, tracking where you're at, demanding constant check-ins, always being suspicious of even your same-sex friends, assuming that you're suddenly going to deviate from your sexuality to have sex with new people you normally wouldn't have sex with, assuming you've slept with all of your friends, assuming every single friend you have wants to sleep with you. Yes, sometimes there's cases where there's a lot of guys circling on the outside waiting, but if they're constantly angry about it and defensive and overwhelming and demanding you cater to them immediately and making threats, really bad look. Now, there is a thing with oxytocin, where if a person has got very little and they've suddenly bonded with you, it can make them jealous and possessive, but usually not to this extent. I'm looking for, I will control you, and I am angry in this relationship, and we probably should break up, but I'm not going to do that because I'm always angry and jealous with everybody I'm with, so it doesn't matter who I'm with, I will always act this way. This is a massive sign of not trusting humanity. And you happen to be a human, and you're doomed. This sign means the relationship is going to be in a very, very hard path because you can't go anywhere, do anything, have independence, and it's probably only going to get worse as they gain more leverage over you. So sign number 1, extreme jealousy and possessiveness. Sign number 2, passive-aggressive communication. Now, securely attached partners are going to communicate openly and directly with you about things. A partner who uses silent treatment, backhanded compliments, guilt trips, side jokes that hurt, comments designed to provoke, feasible deniability. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. No, you're just being very sensitive. Partners who do that, they're likely struggling with secure communication. They're trying to get their way, but they can't just come tell you what it is. This behavior avoids any direct confrontation, but aims to manipulate your feelings to force a change in you that the other person is seeking, but they will not come and talk to you about it. They're going to use pain to manage you. Now, what this tells me about a relationship is they're comfortable hurting you. This is terrible. This is a gigantic warning sign. I will use pain to manage you. Imagine if you had a shock collar strapped to your neck, and every time you deviate from what they want, what's convenient, they buzz you. That's what this behavior is. Now, with that visual, that sounds horrible. That's what this is verbally. I will hurt you to get what I want, but I'll never actually tell you what I want. This tells me that they don't believe it's possible to work together or collaboratively or openly. They have to correct your behavior by pain. Really bad sign. So that's passive-aggressive communication. The third one I look for is disrespectful and belittling behavior. This takes it to a whole new level. Secure partners treat each other with respect and kindness for human dignity. But a partner who constantly criticizes you, insults you, puts you down, makes you feel bad about you, minimizes, belittles you, stops any sort of praise whatsoever towards you. Okay? They do not value any of your contributions. They think that your accomplishments are stupid. They make fun of them. They demean you. They make you feel worthless. They're displaying a significant red flag. Okay? This behavior can stem from any insecure attachment style, but often indicates a lack of self-worth in them, which they're then projecting onto you to minimize yours so that you won't get uppity and see that they're not as good as you are. They have to try to suppress your awareness of who they are by making you feel worse about you. This means your relationship is going to be a constant cycle of everything good you put in being stomped down, dismissed, and ignored so that they can feel safe talking up their own accomplishments and how amazing they are in the relationship for putting up with you. This is a gigantic sign that the other person is incapable of working with you, and in fact just wants to manage you through pain again. So always keep an eye out for demeaning or belittling behaviors, okay? The next one is an unwillingness to compromise or collaborate. Now, people get this wrong. Compromise doesn't mean violating your goals or your principles. It means we both have goals and principles. Let's compromise on the specifics of a situation to make sure we accommodate goals and principles. Let's take care of each other so no one is violating anything. Let's do the specifics differently. Secure partners work together to find those solutions and say, well, I can't do this for you, but what's the underlying need? Let's meet that need in a different way. That's compromise. And when we work together to solve a problem with peace and calmness, that's collaboration. A partner who always has to be right, who refuses to compromise, my way or the highway. No, this is how we're doing it. A partner who makes all the decisions unilaterally against you. A partner who does not allow you to work with them, who pushes you away, backs up, does it themselves, and then steps back and says, look, I took care of it. These partners probably have almost certainly have really broken attachment, maybe toward a personality disorder. This behavior indicates a need for control and for difficulty even considering somebody else's needs or perspectives. They are so far into controlling other people that they don't even think other people will work with them. Now they're alone in the world against you. It's actually you against them. The problem here is that you form a cortisol association with them and they with you. When a problem pops up, they shove you out of the way and solve it themselves. But it's probably not going to get solved the way you want. So now you're going to build a cortisol association against them and feel like you have to do exactly the same. Now there's two people in this relationship shoving each other out of the way, trying to solve the problems and getting angrier and angrier. This is one thing that does not work in a relationship, you guys. So always keep an eye out for an unwillingness to compromise or collaborate. The next one that I see a lot of is chronic dishonesty and deception. Secure partners value trust and honesty. Even anxiously attached partners, the nurturing anxious or the ethical avoidant, they still value honesty tremendously. So a partner who frequently lies, breaks promises, withholds information, especially important information, causes you to get exploited in relationships, holds things back, shares very selectively to color your perception. A partner who's endlessly playing these games with you is likely creating a massive insecure attachment dynamic in the relationship. They're probably actually wounding your attachment worse in the process, and you're going to come out of this relationship more damaged. This does not bode well for the relationship, you guys. What this means is that they're actually going to massively damage you and hurt you more and more and more and more over time, and it's going to erode any possibility of regaining trust that's already been lost. That's why this usually does not work in a relationship. So always look out for constant chronic lying, okay, and deception. The next one is blame shifting and a lack of accountability. They avoid taking any responsibility for their actions. They constantly blame you for problems. They refuse to apologize. They hinder growth within the relationship. It's always someone else's fault. The good is their fault, but the bad is always your fault. And you are always somehow to blame. If you got hurt, it's probably your fault. Maybe you shouldn't have been doing what you were doing. Victim blaming sometimes is another phrase for this, but it's never them. Never. One thing they usually do is shut you down completely when they've done something wrong, completely shut it down, pull away for a week or so, and then come back in with gifts to make you forget about it. This doesn't work in relationships because if you can't take accountability, and if it's just you endlessly attacking the other person can never, ever trust you, ever. Never. Because it's not a relationship. It's not. This is not a relationship. This is one person getting good feelings at the expense of another person who's putting up with it. It's a hostage situation. It's an exploitation, not a relationship. Okay, so always look out for blame shifting and lack of accountability. The next one, disrespect for boundaries and needs. This is one of the biggest ones that I really look at. All of these violate boundaries, but this is a whole new level. Secure partners respect each other's boundaries. They actually enjoy knowing where the boundaries are, what the no is, because the boundaries are drawn from your principles, your ethics, and your goals, and they love helping that. And that's a structured framework. They love that you have boundaries because it means that you're a person who will say no to other people too, so they can trust you. A partner who ignores and overwhelms your boundaries, who disrespects you, tramples your ethics, pressures you into things you're uncomfortable with. A partner who stomps all over your long-term goals, who says that you're an idiot or a prude or selfish for having principles or goals. Someone who insults you, someone who disregards your needs, who laughs at you, mocks you, just insults you for having emotional needs, perhaps. They guaranteed have an insecure attachment style. And they're creating a one-sided, disrespectful relationship where they benefit at your expense. This is one of the worst. It's almost impossible to build a relationship from this. I look for this one in particular. It is a complete disdain for human dignity, is very much into personality disorder territory. Doesn't guarantee it, but very much into that territory. So always look out for disrespect of boundaries and needs because it's disrespecting you as a human being. Now, all of these 7, they're red flags. Okay, they're not absolutes. Every relationship has challenges. You could probably look at these and see many people in your life who have temporarily exhibited some of these to some extent. Okay, they're not absolutes. The presence of one or even a couple doesn't automatically mean the relationship is doomed because you can still come back from most of these. Open communication and a willingness to work on attachment styles, they can heal these relationships and they can lead to positive change. So what should you do if you see any of these? Well, I'll be honest. If you see any of these, the situation right now is probably beyond your ability to fix alone. Didn't we talk in there about siloing off fixing alone? You need to work collaboratively. We talked about that one too, right? So if you want to make this work, you probably need professional help that cuts through the dysfunction fast and holds both of you accountable in a constructive way. Now, they're going to have to buy in on this too, which probably means you're going to have a very hard conversation of this will not work unless we fix it. Now, if you're in a romantic relationship and you're seeing one of these or a couple of these, I do offer a very special guidance program. It's called the Marriage Rescue Coaching Program. It's for married couples, also for those in long-term relationships, to help you overhaul your relationship and overcome even all 7 of these problems together if necessary, plus building a loving, intimate relationship. It's not just getting you from the negatives to 0, it's getting you from the negatives up definitely into the black, into the positive territory, okay? So if you do need help, get in contact as soon as possible so that we can work on saving your relationship together. And if it's not savable, I will tell you exactly why and exactly what would have to change, or else it will not work. I do that with my couples too. I am Adam Lane Smith, the attachment specialist. And in my experience, these 7 signs mean there is a serious problem in the attachment between you two. Probably core attachment wounds in at least one of you. So if you're already seeing these issues, the clock is ticking and you need to address them fast. I'm just warning you. Now, you can have conversations together about them, but again, it's likely you already have, and those haven't gone well. So make sure that you do those initial talks in case you haven't, and then recognize when it's time to get a professional mediator and guide involved who can help you confront the challenging discussions in a productive way. If you want to save your relationship, if you need help, send me an email at support@adamlanesmith.com, and let's get your relationship back on track fast. I am here to help, and I'm also here to tell you if it's fixable.